Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I am Richard. This is my channel, and I learned something today. And believe it or not, I've always wanted to have a segment on this channel called Today I Learned. I never realized, or I never came up with a topic. I learn things all the time because I'm always reading, but, today I learned about gay marriage in Israel. So before I go any further, of course, let me remind you that for every 1,000 subscribers, I got to do purchase one of these bracelets from 4Ocean. 4Ocean pulls a pound of trash out of the ocean every time I do that. So kindly comment, like, and subscribe. You'll be doing your part for a better world. Now, gay rights are a hot topic in the Middle East. There are videos where I drink alcohol. This is not alcohol, by the way. I'm drinking this so that I don't get parched. It is some weird form of Mountain Dew. Anyway, so gay rights in the Middle East are a hot button topic because of the tendency for Arab nations to discover someone as a homosexual and throw them off of a building. This is apparently a thing. Homosexuals are not very well received in the Middle East. And of course, this is the irony. We see a lot of these people with these signs, gays for Palestine. It's like, bro, you do realize that Palestine is not a place where gay rights are very accepted, all right? So it is always, if you're a Palestinian, you have the right to become an Israeli citizen. You have to move into Israeli territory. Gaza is not considered Israeli territory. It was not occupied until October 7th and the massacre, and Israel once again sent forces into there to destroy Hamas. All right, so, there's that whole thing about gay rights in Gaza are virtually non-existent, and in fact, even the right to live is often denied the homosexual. And in Israel, well, Tel Aviv is the governmental capital of Israel, as opposed to Jerusalem, which is the spiritual capital. Tel Aviv has been dubbed the gay capital of the Middle East. Apparently, they have a gay beach. I don't know what that means. Does a gay beach have pink sand? I mean, how is a beach where there are gay people not just a beach? But it's a thing. Okay. So I read on a post that gay marriage is not permitted in Israel. And I was like, what? I was not aware of that. Doesn't sound very Israel. So I looked it up. There is no body within Israel, within the borders of Israel, that can legally perform a homosexual marriage. In Israel, there is no civil marriage. There are only religious marriages. And in order for you to become married in Israel, you must have a religious marriage. So typically, like, if you have a Protestant and a Catholic, you're not allowed to marry outside of your denomination, apparently. However, in Israel, you can register your marriage from any other country. All right? So, let's just say I were to go marry a Catholic, right? I identify as a Jew, but I'm a non-denominational Jew. I don't go to a synagogue. I don't practice. I just think of myself as being a Jew, and I adopted the morality taught to me in the synagogue, all right? That's who I am. I could not marry in Israel. I would have to join a denomination. My partner would have to be of that denomination, and the denomination would have to accept me. Only a person of the cloth can marry someone in Israel, as opposed to America, where I think a ship captain can legally marry you. There's just performing the ceremony is a matter of civil importance, not so much religious importance. Religious importance is just, something you can do. So if a gay couple lived in Israel, it used to be that they had to leave Israel to leave to a country where they could get married. They would get married, they would come back, and they would register that marriage with Israel. And Israel would say, cool, man, you do you. Marry who you want to. All right? This is relatively recent, my understanding is. But how recent it is exactly, I couldn't tell you. I know, like, within the last 10 years, gay marriage has been considered completely accepted in Israel. In fact, there is an online service stemming from somewhere in Utah where a homosexual couple can stay within Israel, power up this service, and I guess somebody online performs the ceremony for you. And this is considered legal in Israel. You can then go out there and register the marriage. So, homosexuals can be married in Israel. It's the getting married that's kind of the problem. And that's been solved through a loophole. Now, one of the things about this particular tweet that sent me on this search to find out whether Jews or whether gay people can get married in Israel, this is a form of misinformation. Okay? I believe it would be considered a straw man logical fallacy because you're removing part of this. It's like you say, well, gay people can't get married in Israel. Well, that's a technically true statement, but, gay people aren't allowed to live in Gaza, so, and this is not to say that there weren't at least, gay communities who were sort of, on the down low, but, understand something is that the Middle East is not known for its tolerance. And there was a point, I believe it was in the 60s, where a ultra extremist form of Islam was created. And it's like when you see women wearing the burqa, their faces covered, that is, I think it's around 60 years old now. Around that. It was not a thing before that. And in fact, the concept of covering one's head, it is an Abrahamic concept, as in an Abrahamic religion, okay? If you take the Quran, I believe Abraham is a character in the Quran, as well as he is in the Torah and the Bible. And in fact, there are Muslims who say that they are greater believers in Jesus than Christians because they say that, Jesus is in the Quran. I have not read the Quran. I cannot corroborate this. This is what I am told. So, now we have an extremist movement, and extremism is kind of always bad. I don't know if there's ever been any good extremists, right? But a lot of what's going on in, the Muslim countries now is there an extremist movement out there, and those extremists are staunchly against homosexuality and staunchly against women's rights. I mean, you gotta dehumanize yourself by putting this cloth over yourself. And yes, the cloth, the burqa, the quote-unquote beekeeper suit, as some people call it, it is designed to protect women. It is designed to protect women in a society where men are not held accountable. It is believed that in that society, if a man sexually abuses a woman, it is her fault for seducing him. Okay? Here in America, we don't believe that. We believe that we men should have self-control. At least our government does, and I do. I'm sure there are people who disagree with me, but see, again, this is where there's friction with the beliefs, because the law should say the person should be held accountable for their own actions, and the religion says what the religion says. I mean, you can't change it. It's the religion. That's their thing. But our law cannot be governed by religion. That's the separation of church and state we have in America. I've gone off on a tangent here, but so to put it mildly, a Jew or a homosexual can get married in Israel, but not by the Israeli government, not by an official government-sanctioned marriage. They can get married within the boundaries of Israel. They have to do it online, and their marriage would be start in America, in the state of Utah. But they can register that marriage legally in Israel, and they do not need to leave the country. That is what I learned today. I find it very interesting. If you'd like me to research a topic, comments down below. I'm Richard.
Danger Ducky says it would be sweet as a cupcake if you would comment, like, and subscribe.